What do you think of this little fireplace scene?
Oh, I love that. Feel warm already.
I shot some B-roll yesterday for a new intro. Don't forget to visit Gibson's. They're locally owned, and Comanche Trace. They're a retreat from the usual. Live theater, live music, live events over at Playhouse 2000 and Kensible Ford for all your service needs. Don't forget to visit Texas Hill Country Advisors and Napa. Locally owned, locally operated. The Croc in Kerrville. Salvation Army is there to help you out. And Stand Up for Animals is our friends at KPA. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Killdeer Manufacturing is hiring. And dining, entertainment, fun, into the hills. And we're elevating health at Peterson Health. And we're live from the Peterson Health Digital Studio at Pipe and Plow Brewing Company. I'm Louis Amestoy. It is, what is the day today? Thursday.
It is Thursday, the 16th.
January 16th. What is the day today? 2025?
Yeah, it's still 2025.
Wende Jones is in the house. Wende, are you there? No audio, Wende.
Oh,
Not this again.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on. She'll figure it out. Just yell at us when you're ready. And then Quick Lane for all your service needs. Give them a call today at 8302-5755-57. They're over at Ken Simple Ford. They have delicious snacks, Leslie.
Nice. What's your favorite snack at Quick Lane?
If I could have it, it'd be like one of their granola bars.
Oh, yeah. I do like a good granola bar.
Oh,
you know what I miss? Kudos. Do you remember Kudos?
Oh, yeah.
Those were so good.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't have those.
No. Don't forget that we have the real estate report on Tuesdays here with Janelle Peralt, jppropertiestx.com. Every Tuesday. Gibson's Discount Center. You go visit them today. They have everything you possibly need inside that store.
They sure do.
You know, Doug told me that he's going to only come on every other week now.
Well, he's probably really busy.
He's really busy. I don't know why.
He runs a Gibson's.
True. Lunch done right over at Pine Plow. Kerrville is the new Kerrville. You can have a sandwich here. So, also they have beer. There's beer here. What's your beer to go? What's your go-to beer?
I do the off-season amber is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And then the lager.
The lager.
Yeah.
Hi, Wendy. Wendy's there.
And then whatever special seasonal concoction.
That Jeremy's
the specialty one that Jeremy likes to cook up sometimes.
Yeah. K-Pub, by the way, safe, reliable, and yours. They're always helpful. Also, this guy over here, the herring printing guy.
We love those guys.
Yeah. They're great, aren't they?
They are.
Don't forget to visit Herring Printing Company. They're serving the Texas Hill Country since 1964. And also, embrace the opportunity for imagination and quality at SLS Partnership, Architects, Interiors, and Planners. And our friends over at Arcadia Live. They got stuff coming up. They got trivia tonight.
They have trivia tonight.
And they already sold out of their latest adventure, which is, what is that? What is their latest adventure?
Bingo. That sold out fast.
Bingo. So, poor Wende Jones is trying to figure out technology this morning.
I'm sorry, Wende.
Oh, there she is. No audio, still audio. It's got to be me. Let me call you on the phone. Oh, it's technology. It's got to be my fault. I don't know what the deal is. Hold on a second, Wendy. I'm going to call Wendy on the phone. Hey, Siri, call Wende Jones. Oh, they're calling Wende Jones.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Well, it's so stressful when this happens.
I don't know what the deal with it is. It's either on my end or the software needs to be I don't know. Who knows? But you're here now.
You know me. I have all this super fancy equipment in my office, and I'm just not good at it.
It's entirely possible. It could be anybody's issue at this point. So we don't know. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's okay because we have you now to talk with. Wende Jones joining us from Phoenix Wellness Center in beautiful Kerrville. What's going on at the gym today?
The gym's been super busy. It's a, typical January.
Yeah.
And we are really working hard to put out a lot of just educational things. I've just gotten to where I want this place to be always educating people. So we've kind of upped the game on that as far as social media goes and my website, and just, trying to help the community get healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on a second. Is Clifton Pfeiffer still here?
I don't know.
Let's see if we get him. Bring him over here.
Sure.
I'm gonna command him to come over here for a minute. I'm reading a lot about things that are going on, health wise. I did a little running yesterday. I took this dog for a walk yesterday, and I told the dog, I said, look, there's a squirrel. So we chased the squirrel. The dog had no idea what the hell we were doing. And then he figured out that we were chasing a squirrel, and we got going. But man, it hurt. It hurt, Wendy.
Are you hurting today, or are you hurt while
not
you
today.
ran?
It was like, the right knee was compromised. The left hamstring was compromised. The right metatarsal was compromised. It was out of whack completely. So
you have to work yourself into those things. You can't just start by sprinting.
Yeah, right. Hey, what do you think about the massage technique known as cupping? I had it done to me the other day. What do you think about that? I
think it's very beneficial. Yeah. We have what's called fascia that surrounds our muscles. It's like that when you cook chicken. It's like that white film around a chicken breast. And the cupping really helps release that when it gets tight. So I think everybody's different, but for some people it's really beneficial.
Yeah. It hurts like hell at first, and then they release it, and then it's like, whoa, interesting.
Yeah. It used to be popular to do myofascial release with a massage therapist, like hands-on.
Yeah.
And it was the most painful type of massage ever. But you talk about immediate relief, immediate.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, massage can really do some things to you. If you had to have a treatment done, what would be your go-to? Like if you like some kind of like therapeutic treatment, what would you have done?
For me, it would be the oxygen chamber. I think there's nothing better than like flooding your blood with oxygen.
Right.
So if I had to pick one thing for me personally, it would be that.
And you have that at your facility, right? So.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got it in 2020, and it's helped a lot of people, myself included.
Are these old farts coming on too? Oh my God!
Listen, Clifton comes with a rider.
All right,
I make sure he gets what he wants.
He's got it on here. Okay.
Why shouldn't these gentlemen join us?
I know. It's good.
Sorry, Wendy.
Wendy, go ahead. What else is going on in the gym? What else do we need to know?
As far as recovery, which is what you should think about, that's something I've been talking about a lot, because in January, the people that do decide to work out, they're so gung-ho and they just jump in with both feet, and they end up getting hurt or so sore that they can't come back the next day. So I've been talking to everybody about recovery, and that is why we set this gym up this way with the saunas, we've got the exercise with oxygen, the leg compression boots, the red light therapy, like all these things I've put here. That's why the massage chairs. It's for muscle recovery, because we do need to work our bodies hard and lift heavy things and, put in the effort, but it's also extremely important to recover your muscles as well. Right.
Exactly.
And that's through, the things that we have here help a lot. Things like Epsom salt baths, there's a lot of things.
Epsom salt baths are the best.
Yeah, and especially in January, it's like people just kind of overlook that. It's just, go, lift, run, sprint, and you kind of, it's not going to be a long-term thing in most cases if you don't recover your muscles as well.
I sprinted for a little bit yesterday, and I paid the price.
How far did you go?
Like 10 yards, and it was awful. Awful.
It sounds like you chased the squirrel, and the dog didn't really care.
Dog didn't know what the hell was going on, and then the dog figured
Lewis
it out.
wanted to chase the squirrel.
You were trying to show him.
I was trying to lead this dog to water. Yeah, leading this dog to water. So anyway, you can teach dogs old dogs new tricks. So good morning, but it was painful. It was very painful. So, all right, Wendy, good job.
Recovery.
We love you. We'll see you later.
Okay, love y'all. Bye.
Bye, Wendy.
Before I get these old farts on the show, hold on a second.
Be nice.
Hey, Siri, call Jeff Harris.
Jeff Harris. iPhone.
Calling Jeff Harris because he was supposed to come on the show today. Let me see if you can.
So you're going to out him? He's watching.
I know he's watching.
Yeah,
I thought you were coming on the show.
I'm watching. I'm in Resort. I'm on the way to Brazoria.
Are you? Okay. All right. So you're actually driving and watching and listening at the same time. Perfect.
Well, I'm not watching. I'm listening.
You're listening. Did you? You're running for city council again. Why? Are you completely
what we're doing?
Completely crazy or what? I mean, unbelievable.
I'm starting to get that feeling again, but I don't know, Louis. I'm just doing it.
You feel
hopefully for the betterment of Kerrville.
Yeah.
It's something I was asked to do, and things changed in our lives this last year with Christy retiring, and she took a job at Peterson, and she said, "I'm taking this job so we don't move. So you better run for re-election."
Better run for you know what? Exactly, because she probably has some kind of Tuesday night plan. She's like, you're out.
She's like, you're out of the house.
Out of the house. You're out of the house.
2 more years.
Yeah. She's probably encouraging like George Baruti or somebody to like speak a lot, during these meetings. So extending the meeting a lot. So
Christy's probably loving this.
She's probably loving
like,
that.
Shut up.
Shut up, Louis. All right, you filed.
Well, she's not with me, so.
Okay, well, we can send her a recording later.
I heard something the other day. Somebody posted, and it was the most fulfilling thing that I've heard since being on council. And it was, go vote, and somebody said, "Why change what we have? It's the best council we've had in a decade."
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It was a younger person too, which was, really.
Oh, that must have felt good, Jeff.
It did, and that kind of just rekindled the fire to put myself out there again.
You are the youngest person on that council by about, I don't know how many years, but you are the child on that council. So you were the only Gen Xer on there. So
I would probably say I'm youngest by at least 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Well, Herring is at least 97 now. So. Hey, I'm congratulations on running again. I just wanted to say hi, and then we'll bug you later. All right.
All right. Well, good deal. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Have a great show, and I want to hear more about Wendy's oxygen.
Yeah, her oxygen chamber is a great place to nap. So if you need a midday nap to get away from all the people at your bank, go over and see Wendy. She'll take care of you. So.
Definitely need to do that.
All right, good deal. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, guys.
Safe travels,
Safe
Jeff.
travels.
Thank you all.
All right, see you later, Jeff. I don't know where Dalton Rice is at today. I don't feel like calling him, though. All right, pull those microphones closer to you guys. Get them closer to you guys. Listen, here's the deal. I don't know who these people are that are on the show. Stu Baby, in the middle. Yours is right there in the middle.
Stu's like, you'll hear me.
Yeah, I haven't turned your microphone on yet.
Stu's like, I'm not worried about it. You'll know I'm here.
Here's the deal. I don't know what your guys' names are. All I know is that it's Tom, Stu Baby, and Coach and Junior. That's how these guys are referred to themselves as it. You guys all taught. Well, okay, let me get this right here. Clifton Pfeiffer Jr.'s here. He taught at the middle school, Hal Peterson Middle School, for his entire career, right?
33 years.
33 years. And then Stu Baby in the middle. Calkins, right?
Correct.
You taught at the high school.
For 30 years.
30 years. And you both are TFND alum, right?
Right.
And then you drug Tom into this deal. Tom, what is your last name?
Claiborne.
And you taught at TFND for how long?
No, I was at Nimitz Elementary.
Nimitz Elementary. Ah, that's right. How long were you at Nimitz Elementary for?
20 years.
You were like my dad. You're like one of those
This is
weird.
like 80 years of teaching right here.
He was like
Really
Tom's
impressive.
like my dad's name is Tom. My dad Tom also coached cross country like this Tom did, and also taught at elementary school.
Oh.
So you probably got tagged with being a weirdo, because mid elementary teachers were weirdos in those days.
But Tom was also a national jump rope coach.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
we had good jump rope at Nimitz.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Why don't they use? Here's what I don't understand on Nimitz. I hear their announcements every day. I think they should have more of a maritime, more of a naval approach. Like they should have the little whistle that blows out. What's the little Navy whistle they blow? You know,
I don't know, but nailing it.
And they should all wear like little uniforms. You know.
We could get a
That's called an
Popeye
academy.
theme, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that would be fun.
Right. Anyway, you know, when the ships at sea, they have to. Your brother knows this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't
He
you call him
probably
up
does.
and ask
Well,
him
he's
what-
in Hawaii. That's all.
It's like 3:00 in the morning there.
He's not awake.
Yeah.
I want to mention the fourth old fart that walked away when
Yeah.
we were invited to come back. That's Dan Roloff.
Oh, Dan
And-
Roloff's been on the show before.
Yeah, we were all coaches in the KIS.
KISD.
one, so that's-
Who had the best record? Who had the best record?
I don't know.
What did you coach? Coach? You didn't coach a team, did you?
Yeah, football, basketball, and track.
But you're never a head coach, though, were you?
Oh, no.
No, no.
I
What
was
about?
head coach track?
Yeah, what's that?
Head coach at track at the junior high.
At the junior high. What about you, Stu Baby? What was your coaching legacy?
Basketball.
You coached the boys basketball team.
Up until JV, and my goal was to be a varsity basketball coach, but then the girls' job came open first, and they said, we'll get you out of football if you'll take the girls' coaching job.
Oh, right.
It was a heck of a deal.
Heck of a deal. Yeah. And it's a little bit cooler, probably. You don't have to stand outside. You can be in the gym. Wait, both of you were on the TFND state teams, right?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't, but you were, right? What year was that?
1969 and 70.
What were you doing? You were playing basketball?
I went to track.
You went to track. Okay, so you didn't play basketball. Were you
I
the
played
only?
basketball.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Were you the only Pfeiffer that didn't play varsity basketball, or when did you
No.
graduate?
I graduated in 71.
71.
Yeah, I
Okay,
played varsity in my senior year.
your senior year. So you missed
Both
out.
my brother William, he was All-American in football, basketball, and track.
But they were younger than you, right?
Yeah, they were.
They were younger than you. All right. So then you played on that. So you guys, when you walk into the gym, there's that big like plaque thing for you guys for that, or there's a banner for you guys, right? Was you guys state champions or state runner up?
State champions.
State champions. That's a big deal.
So we had a coach that came to town, and Tybee had never done anything in basketball. And
Yeah.
So he thought it'd be good to bring in a basketball coach, but I guess he wasn't happy when basketball was so successful, and because we went from rags to riches, kind of not having a program, to where he turned it around. We were state champions. Then the next year he left and went to the Panhandle, won a state championship, and later on in the late '80s he coached at Ingram and won a state championship.
Oh, really? Oh,
That's
really?
impressive.
Oh, wow.
Coach.
Yeah. People don't realize that Ingram team, I think, had to play through Shaq to get Shaq played. I guess he played at the old gym and played at Ingram at least once or twice, because I think they were in the same district when he was at Cole. But there you go. All right. So and then Tom, you coached cross country.
Right.
And what was your how did you get to state ever at cross country with TFND? Or were you guys there?
We went to state 2 years. Great group of kids. They ran their hearts out.
Boys or girls? Was it
Boys primarily.
primarily? You know, the hill country is a good place for cross. I mean, it's got hills, so you can run it a little bit though too.
It really helped.
Yeah, really helped us on. When you guys get together for this your old farts table every Thursday, what is the primary thing of discussion? What do you guys discuss?
Whatever comes up.
Yeah.
It's too
I
big.
normally say crazy things until Junior says, "You out there, Stu, baby."
Yeah, you're out there.
I've reached my quota. And
That's
I'm
kind of like
happy.
this show.
Yeah, right.
So I guess I have to share the story about why I call him Junior.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
he calls
Sure.
me Stu, baby.
Yeah.
So when we were growing up, the only thing we had in the summer was Little League baseball. And we were on the same Little League team, and the coach asked us to introduce ourselves. And Clifton stepped forward, and he says, "My name is Clifton Pfeiffer Jr."
Okay.
And I go, I guess that's the first time I realized I was such a smart aleck. I said, "Well, I'll just call you Junior." Everybody, we were segregated at schools at the time.
Yeah. Right.
You know, here I am saying that. So the first African American person I ever met.
Yeah.
People said, "Yeah, you are out there, Stu, baby."
You are out there, Stu, baby.
So, anyway, when it became my turn to say, "Well, my name is Stuart," and he goes, "I'll just call you Stu, baby." That was
I love that.
How old were you guys, do you think, when that happened?
10 years old.
10 years old.
10 years old. So, because like the schools were segregated. Like when you went to Doyle until what like till 65. Fifth grade, yeah. And then you went to then you were mainstreamed into the rest of the campus, right? Tom, when did you come to Kerrville?
I came here in 81. I think.
81.
Just wanted to teach in a small town.
You just wanted to be in, and it worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're stuck here.
I love it.
Yeah. That's amazing. I wanted to ask you what's going on in Doyle. What's the latest at Doyle?
We've got Martin Luther King coming up on the 20th.
Yeah.
After Dr. King, we've got a Black History program.
Okay.
First Friday in February. We'll have a Valentine tea. Then we'll have a musical there.
Yeah, right.
But we'll bring a poster in.
Okay.
And I'll have it for you next week.
The Monday's a big day because it's Martin Luther King Day. It's the inauguration, but more importantly, it's the College Football National Championship. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because Martin Luther King Day is a big day, but it's a big day though. It's a trifecta of it's a holiday. It's the inaugural stuff, and then the College Football Championship later that night. Any predictions in that game, by the way? You got Notre Dame and Ohio State. Who do you got?
I like Notre Dame.
You like Notre Dame?
But I think Ohio State.
You think Ohio State? What do you think, Stu, baby?
I'm going Notre Dame. I went to a Catholic college, and so.
What?
Yes.
All right.
I'm not a Catholic, but.
You went to a Catholic college.
It was fun going to a Catholic college.
He said I had a good time.
Wine and cheese.
All right.
It was a Catholic school close to Notre Dame.
Okay. In Indiana.
In Indiana.
Oh, that's right. Where did you go to school again?
It's called St. Joseph's.
St. Joseph's. All right.
Doesn't exist anymore.
And Tom, what do you got?
I'll go with Notre Dame, yeah.
Wow. Leslie, what do you think?
I don't know. I think I got to go with Notre Dame.
Oh, my God.
I don't know anything about either team.
Yeah,
so.
well, they have gold helmets.
Yeah, I think that's lovely.
The other one has silver helmets.
I already love it.
But Ohio State is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Then it should be a good game.
It should, we hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in segregated Kerrville? Well, I mean, let me ask Stuart, you answer that question first. What do you think?
Here it was. I was 10 years old growing up in Kerrville, and the first African American person I ever met was on my Little League baseball team.
Right.
You know, we would have like a little Olympics, and it would be between Starkey and Tybee Elementary,
Yeah.
where I went, and we were thankful that Doyle didn't participate.
Because they would have rocked your
would've
world.
whooped you.
Yeah, right.
Well, the first year that we were able to participate was my 5th grade year.
Yeah.
Of course, we won it.
Right.
We ran away with it.
Ran away with it. Yeah, I bet. Literally. Yeah, because it was the Pfeiffers, right? There was like how many? Was it? You have 3. There's 3 of you, or there's 4 of you, right?
But they're much younger than I am.
Yeah.
One was 3 years younger than me, and the other one was 7 years.
So they weren't. You weren't like a relay team or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
But we had other relay members.
Yeah. Right. And what was the impact on Tybee sports when it desegregated? Did that change things a little bit, or did that?
Yeah, it did. I mean, you had a new crop of people coming in with different talent. You had a larger population to choose from now.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
it did. It made Tybee better. That was an integration plan in 1956.
Right.
It was turned down by the Doyle School Board because they didn't feel like that the kids would get the same opportunity at Tybee that they would at Doyle.
Right.
Yep.
And that was one of the main reasons that I understand why they wanted to integrate was to get the athlete.
Yeah. Right. There was probably that going on as well. And then for you though, I mean, so Clifton was the first black kid you've ever you were friends with, huh?
That's correct.
And it worked out pretty well for you, the two of you.
Yeah, I guess.
You haven't been able to get rid of
He
him.
reminds me that I'm the only one that
Clifton's
can
just-
get away with the things I say.
Yeah.
Stuck with Stu, baby.
Right. What was it?
When we do the parade, the Christmas parade, Stu Baby's in the same place every year.
Yeah.
And you know what
My
he holler?
grandsons.
Junior! And so I'll holler back, Stu Baby!
I love that.
Now, I heard a story once, maybe it was you, Stuart, that said that watching Clifton run the football, though, was impressive. What was that like?
His whole class was impressive. It was probably, our first year of athletics was 8th grade.
Yeah.
And they came in as 7th graders.
Yeah.
And they were African American and athletic as heck.
Yeah.
And so they embarrassed us in football. They embarrassed us in basketball.
Yeah.
And in track, and we're going, dang.
Dang.
And
Yeah.
I look back, and it's and all of a sudden we came together in high school, and it just made such a united, successful group.
Yeah. I heard a story once that watching Clifton run the football, because you were a running back, right? Mm-hmm. What were your positions in football?
I played cornerback.
Yeah.
Left corner and running back. And
Running
then in
back.
college, I played defensive back.
Where'd you go to college at?
Howard Payne University.
Howard Payne. Okay.
In the semi-pro, I played both
Ways. Right. How did your brothers get in the NFL and you didn't? What happened?
Because they're much bigger than I am. and a better athlete, much better athlete.
Yeah, you are a little small though. I mean, let me see. I think it's crazy about the people who say like, how did when you look at NFL players,
They're big dudes.
I'd never forget meeting Leonard Russell, who was went to Arizona State, played for the Patriots, was Rookie of the Year. The man had hands the size of my head, and I was like, how would you ever fumble the football? Because there's another man who's just as big and strong as you are across the way from you. So there you go. So what is it like to be friends with these two guys, Tom? What is it like for them to be here with you?
Oh, it's so much fun to hear them talk because they bring up things that I was not aware of. And,
Yeah.
It's always kind of funny.
Yeah.
Just for Tom.
Yeah.
Some of it's true.
Yeah. And then what did Dan Roloff coach? What was his deal? Before he abandoned you guys, went to work for Howard Butt.
He worked football and track
Football and track.
at the middle school.
Yeah.
And then before that, he worked at Starkey, I think.
Yeah. But he really was Dan's a really talented writer, and so he wrote a lot of what Howard Butt said, in his little radio spots as well. All right, well, good. I just wanted you guys to come on and say hello. So
Hi, y'all.
This was delightful.
it was delightful. So now get out of here.
I think next time you sub in Clifton, you should.
Clifton's celebrity of the group.
That's what they said.
I know.
They were
And,
like, someday
he said,
they'll ask
someday
us.
we'll get to be a part of that.
Stu Baby always say, when can I go on the lead?
Here's the jokes, Stu Baby.
Yeah.
Anytime you want.
And then when we go in there and ask him, he gets all shy.
And,
Man, what am I
and
saying?
you made my day when you said it's time for y'all to leave because anytime I've been interviewed, it always ends up that way.
It always get
It's
out.
time.
Hey, you know what I love about Texas though? Here's my little thing I love about Texas. I love UIL. I think UIL is cool because it's not just sports; it's everything.
It's everything.
and it's in the middle schools too, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I competed in UIL.
Yeah, the only
I competed in dictionary skills.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I love that. I
was
love.
really fast at looking up words.
I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, it's really. I mean, so it creates this whole sort of like everyone could say, "Well, I was in UIL." Like, what were you in? Dictionary skills, and people are like, "Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
What
I
was
was
that
also
about?"
I competed in dictionary skills and spelling. I was a better speller as a
Spelling.
kid. Yeah, and spelling, and then I think creative writing. I was with a team with people that were better than me on that one.
Yeah.
So I took my skills to dictionary skills, and then I also was in JCL, Junior Classical League,
I
which
love
is
that.
the Latin of UIL, and I competed in taking tests on mythology.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was
Wow.
a real nerd.
That is great. No, I think that's really one of the neat things about it is that you have UIL has has all these different things.
When you also got exposed to different types of schools, because when you competed in UIL competitions, like in San Antonio, there's whole like medical high schools where like it was like these kids were all being prepped to be doctors.
Yeah.
They always kicked our ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got exposed to different types of groups of people, and it challenged you.
Yeah, I mean, our thing in California was only sports, and the other thing too is that they didn't have a separation between the parochial private schools and the public schools. So you competed against, like in our league was a Catholic school.
Yeah.
So it was very different, but there was no academic part of it. There was no band part. I mean, it's really cool. So
and then of course the UIL sports part too.
Yeah.
So
I do have one bone to pick though. They don't have a shot clock in basketball. How could you not have a shot clock in basketball? Get it done, Texas. I don't know.
So you're broaching it with these guys?
Yeah, get it done.
We don't want a shot clock.
Get it done. Get it done. If you can have a 30-second clock or a 45-second clock in football, you can have a shot clock in basketball. Get it done. Come on now. All right. Good job, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it very much.
Yes, thank you guys.
All right. Good job.
All right.
All right.
Can't wait for them to come back.
Yes, exactly.
That was great.
I don't know what happened to Dalton Rice today. What up?
Maybe he's doing something. Maybe like the bat signal came out for him, and
Maybe.
he has to go.
Good job, you guys.
Bye, boys. Y'all be good.
All right. Thank you very much. Leslie Jones. Are we having comments? Are people commenting on?
Let's see. You've got a lot of people saying good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to Nola.
To everybody. Oh my gosh. I went to the next. We booby trapped Clifton in here.
Yeah. Delane says good morning. Good morning,
Yes.
Jeff.
Got a lot of good mornings. Apparently, Tony Jenner is Jeff's campaign manager.
Oh, really? Interesting.
And then let's see, Wild Birds Unlimited saying good morning. Dina Elliott.
You know, I was over at Wild Birds.
I think Dina's been recovering from running for 5 years.
Oh,
I think
really?
that's what that was.
Oh, okay.
And then Carrie saying UIL is a totally underrated program
Very
for
good.
students. She coached spelling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I enjoyed.
I think it's nifty.
Yeah. Which is weird to want to take tests for fun,
Yeah.
but it was in subjects I was good at.
Yeah.
So it's different.
I think it's nifty. It's a
Yeah.
nifty program.
It is.
There's a lot of nifty things out there. I was worried a little bit. I got myself into a little bit of a pickle.
Uh-oh.
A couple
What'd
things
you
up
do?
first. First off, Jeff Harris was on the show. I didn't get a chance really to ask him about this. I kind of blanked on it for a minute there, but he was discussing. They approved a new motorcycle for the police department.
Yes.
And Jeff had some concerns about it.
Yes.
I didn't have time to write about it at the time, but it's interesting though. Like, I think it's a good idea. Actually, I'm generally supportive of most police stuff, which is, people are like, you're a liberal from California. My God. Like, yeah, but I like the cops. I like oil and gas. I like electricity. But I mean, here's the thing, though, right? The motorcycle thing is interesting, though, because a lot of departments have moved away from it because there is a certain sense of danger to them. And that was Jeff Harris's kind of take on it as well. And I looked at it in 2022, or 2023, there were 5 motorcycle-related crashes and fatalities. Interestingly enough, the one area where they're most vulnerable is that when they do these processionals, these funerals or parades, that people just don't pay attention. And people not paying attention of officers being struck and killed on the roadway. It's not just motorcycle officers; it's any of those officers that stop there. It's like people. I want to come back and look at it again. There's so much. The thing that's great about the internet is there's so much research out there that you can go back and look at stuff and say, well, what happened here? What happened there? But the number of police officers who have been hit and killed, not shot and killed, hit on a traffic stop or some kind of incident is pretty astounding. People pay attention.
It's also incredibly horrific.
Yeah. It's completely gross. So anyway, I don't know. We'll work through that. Ted Cruz is not one of my favorite people. He is our senator from Texas. This is going to probably upset Tawny quite a bit because I think she admires Ted Cruz and his manliness, and his ability to Ted Cruz solves problems. Like when there's cold, he goes elsewhere. And he goes to Cancun. So there you go. The discourse in our country right now on politics is just blowhard bullshit, basically, if you really look at it.
I would agree.
Ted Cruz yesterday tweeted out that California, and I'm a little defensive on this, I admit it. He tweeted out yesterday, let me find what I wrote exactly. Dang it, Leslie. Dang it. Dang it, Leslie. Yesterday.
What am I at home?
I don't know. I know. Leslie, dag nabbit.
You said dag nabbit. I heard.
God damn it, Leslie. He tweeted out yesterday, quote, misguided CA policies, limited fire mitigation efforts, 2 produced water shortages, and underfunded firefighters. This is what we said on X. Now, Dem politicians are making it harder, all caps, for those devastated by the wildfires to sell their destroyed properties. Well, here's the deal. So, when Maui happened, there was a lot of speculators that came in and they said, hey, we'll offer you this amount of money for your property now that it's totally destroyed.
Right.
So now we don't have to demo it. We can just, just kind of scrape it off and, and Gavin Newsom, who is the smarmy governor of California, I've met him a couple times. He's very polished. He's a talker.
He's a politician.
He's smarmy, he basically wrote an executive order that banned this kind of discussion on selling because he didn't want to have all the speculators come in and essentially short these people or take advantage of these people who are have lost their homes. So Ted Cruz, of course, saw that as an opportunity. The political discourse in our country right now is so frustrating, and Trump started this as well when he was like, "Well, they can't get water to Southern California." Trump was the one that said they should dump why he asked why they couldn't dump water from an airplane on the fire at Notre Dame, and the engineers and the people who know what the hell they're talking about were like, "Yeah, that probably collapsed the whole thing." That weight of that water, things like that. You had a lot of people who were like, "Why can't they use seawater?" Well, they have used seawater. Not exactly the best policy in the world, but in a pinch, it's going to do.
You've also summoned Tawny.
Oh, good. Here's what makes this particularly egregious. Also, Elon Musk tried to pin down CAL FIRE, which is the state fire agency, by saying you didn't have enough water, and they were like, "You're not going to have enough water to fight this fire. You don't know how much water you'd have to have, torrential rains to really stop this fire.
Right.
There's not enough water in the pipes to do this, right?" So Ted Cruz, who doesn't know what he's talking about, was like, limited fire mitigation. What does that mean? Well, it means that he says that they haven't taken care of the forest. It's raking the forest kind of stuff. Well, it's not a forest, right? It's a
desert.
It's a desert. It's an urban brush fire has a drought cycle where you have a really wet years where it dumps on the foothills, creates brush. They had forests there at one time.
Yeah.
Guess what happened? They cut them all down to build Los Angeles. So there's that, right? So it's replaced with this very volatile scrub brush, and it's been that way for
because also like fire is part of its life cycle.
Exactly. But when you throw in a wind event,
right?
And if you actually look at the videos of the fire, especially like the ones in Altadena, where it's just insane. Yeah. I mean, I've covered fires, like they would have probably pulled out the firefighters. There was so many embers. There was so much chaos because at that point you can't put water out in the fire fast enough. But Ted Cruz is like, he's not helpful. He just wants to do cheap shots, and that's our conversation these days. Like what? Well, okay, so you're gonna take it. You're sitting here in Texas or wherever you're at, Washington D.C. I don't even know if he lives in Texas, but you're sitting there taking shots at these guys, and it's like, okay, how fast is it gonna take me to go find similar problems in Texas?
Right.
It wasn't hard at all. Last year in San Antonio, the firefighters were fighting a house fire on an abandoned house, ran out of water.
Right.
Right. When the winter storm came in, it damaged water pipes. You couldn't get the water right from this. Here was something that I read. I pulled this together from a magazine called The Insurance Journal. Winter Storm Uri hit Texas, causing widespread blackouts and freezing pipes, leading to about 2,000 boil water orders. In response, Texas lawmakers mandated that all utilities create emergency plans to maintain water pressure and minimize supply loss. So you're trying to put in these backup generators, right? Well, in 2021, there was a fire. In 2020, I guess it was. 2021, I guess it was. There was a fire in Colorado in a town called Louisville. It destroyed 991 homes. They had backup power, both diesel and natural gas. They turned the natural gas off to the pumps because they were worried it was going to explode. And they fortified their grid, and they still lost pressure because this was an unprecedented fire. That's Colorado. In Texas, 2011, the Texas A&M Forest Service reported that a fire near Marfa caused parts of Fort Davis to lose access to water because it destroyed the electrical infrastructure that powered the pumps to this. Okay? They depended on a gravity and electrical power feed, and the severe weather struck the community not only has power but also access to water. Okay? They fixed it. That costs them a lot of money. And that's the end of this day, is it costs a lot of money to fix this. You look around us right here. What's my big complaint about Texas is there's power lines everywhere. So if you have a major storm come through here, if we have a straight line wind event, we could lose power to the whole city because it could knock out power lines. If we had 100-mile-an-hour winds here, how many power lines would go down? That's a question for Mike Whitler. When we had Winter Storm Uri, it knocked out power across the whole area. There were places, especially SeaTech, which lost thousands of poles. So how do you fix these issues, right? Well, to me, it's like, as a leader, you don't blame. You try to figure out, how do we harden this stuff? How do we fix this stuff? What's the real conversation? The underfunded part of this too is also ridiculous too. When you look at California's fire department, right? There's 2 fire departments in LA, right? There's the LA Fire Department. I'm sorry, there's more than 2. And there's the LA County Fire Department. Their funding is right around $3 billion, right? $3 billion. The average starting salary the starting salary for a firefighter in Los Angeles is $85,000 a year. That's in the academy. You're training, you're getting $85,000 plus benefits.
Yeah.
The starting pay is between $85,000 and $107,000 a year. All right. There are additionally 28 additional municipal fire departments in Los Angeles County. On top of that, California has a state fire service and substantial U.S. Forest Service presence to fight fires. Underfunded firefighting wasn't the problem. You had an unprecedented wind event. Instead of looking at this from a perspective of like, how do I help solve the problem? How do we work with California? But instead, the Republican Party's mantra is, we'll just make stuff up because it's politically more convenient to do that. And
they're taking advantage of basically taking their cheap shots at a blue state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, taking shots at a blue state where
some of them are governors of states that have also had natural disaster.
Yeah.
We're out there doing the same thing.
Right. Well, we had a natural disaster in Texas. Cruz bailed. He's like, I'm out. Woohoo! You know. So,
and the reality is there's people that live there.
Yeah. I mean, and there's probably a lot of Trump voters that live there. There's probably a lot of Trump voters that lost their houses.
Yep.
There's probably Trump supporters that were donors that lost their houses. So,
they lost their community.
Yeah. Altadena is gone. Pacific Palisades is gone. There's 40,000 homes were threatened. Thousands of homes are destroyed. And yet our senator decides that this is something that he wants to take on. I don't understand it at all, Leslie.
I know.
But there we go. Okay. Enough of me on that. We had a delightful column today, too. Speaking of interesting, Joe Herring Jr. wrote a column today. If you subscribe to the lead Monday through Thursday, which is a whopping $10 a month, you get exclusive access to Joe Herring's column. And he wrote about these first rough homesteads. Mm-hmm. I must say it. It's hard to imagine people living in these things. I mean, these are basically wood shacks.
Yeah.
And I asked Joe, I was like, can you imagine living in that thing? I mean, like, how long before I asked Joe, I said, it'd be an interesting column would be like, the timelines of modernity in Kerr County, because these places are like, oh boy, so anyway, what do you got going on in your world, Leslie Jones?
Well, we got a lot of stuff going on this week. What's left of this week?
Yeah,
but a lot of cool stuff happening. You still have the Hill District Grandstand Show happening over at the Hill Country Youth Event Center. Good luck to everybody participating. You've all done so great. So I hope we're still all rooting for you in this next stage. You also have a South Texas aesthetic on display at Museum of Western Art. Stunning exhibit. Go see it. $7. It'll get you in. KACC has exhibits up as well as their rummage sale still going on. So you can get your hands on some cool art of your own. And then, of course, the permanent exhibits or works from the permanent collection is up at the Hill Country Arts Foundation, which is their past and present exhibit. So also a stunning exhibit. Go see that. You might see some works of people we know, like, Phyllis and Douglas Gary.
Yep.
And some other amazing artists in the area. Okay, you have Sprouts. That is today. That's going to happen at 10:30 here in a little bit over at Riverside Nature Center. There's a free reading program for your pre-K and under kiddo. It's a lot of fun. 10:30 to 11:30. Get them signed up. That is every Thursday at Riverside Nature Center. And then tonight over at Arcadia, it's Third Thirsty Thursday trivia. Tables are probably gone. They've been gone. So either sneak yourself onto a team of 6 or just go and hang out. It's always a good time. I think Meredith back hosting.
Yep.
So it should be fun. And then as we roll into your Friday, the big thing of note that's going on, Bird City having their community celebration.
Are you going to go?
I will be there.
right.
Katie Capel told me I'm running the raffle.
She will be on the show tomorrow, by the way.
Great.
She threatened us to be on the show tomorrow. So.
Well, we do, when Katie calls, you answer.
Yeah.
And no, Katie asked if I could run the raffle, and I said happy to do it. So I'll be there. It'll be at Kerrville Hills Winery starting at 5 p.m. So there will be door prizes, and there's some really cool door prizes. There will be wine tasting, live music, and so much more. Shims Be Blessed will be there with food. So come hang out with us and celebrate. Getting this Bird City designation is huge. There's only 10, I believe, destinations in Texas that have this, and it just shows something we've always known, that Kerrville is a premier birding destination. So excited to celebrate, excited to be a part of it, even though I know this much about birds. I like to look at them.
Yep.
Let's see. Dave Kemp will be playing at Cafe at the Ridge on Friday night at 6 p.m. The flashbacks will be at the Wyo Ranch Hotel, and then there'll be karaoke going on at Into the Hills.
Right.
Do you karaoke?
No.
Why not?
They don't want to hear me sing.
But that's the beauty of karaoke.
No.
I feel like we should do this.
No. They don't want to hear me sing. So.
That's what
It's horrifying. It's horrifying.
I do want to hear you sing.
Well.
We'll work on that.
What
if we had an act? What if we had an act?
Oh.
Think about it. I'm pitching it now. Okay?
If I could sing, I'd sing show tunes to Tawny Fontaine Jenner.
Okay. Let's talk
Elton
this.
John.
Let's keep workshopping this, because I think we're onto something.
Yes.
All right. Saturday. And then there's still even more live music. $2 Pistol is going to be playing at Gravity Checks.
I like
on
that
Friday
name,
night.
$2
Isn't that
Pistol.
a great name? On Saturday, kick off your day with.
I always like the name for a band called $5 Dog.
Oh, you want that to be in the name of our act?
Yeah, we $5 Dogs.
I'm there. And we only sing show tunes.
$5 Monkey Dogs.
To Tawny Fontaine Jenner. $5 monkey dogs?
$5 monkey dogs.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Coming to a karaoke bar near you.
If you have a $5 monkey dog, you know that's a worthless animal.
But you're in for a show. That's all that matters. That's us.
Yep.
We're useless but entertaining.
Yes.
So Saturday you can start your day with the farmers markets, Hillside Harvest Market right at Carlson Law Firm.
Yeah.
That is 8 to 1. And then if you take Water Street down into downtown to 841 Water Street, you'll find Heart of the Hills, which is another great farmers market. Go to both. This is a great way to support local businesses.
Right.
If you're still riding the high of Bird City from Friday night, you can go and hang out with more birders on Saturday morning and do a bird walk and talk. Starting at Riverside Nature Center, 8:30 to 10. What a great way to start your Saturday. As we wind through, it's also weekend 1 of 3 for Renaissance Festival. This is opening weekend over at the River Star Events Park. That is right next to the Hill Country Youth Event Center. So you'll be seeing all those tents start to go up. It's going to be chilly this weekend. Get your best pelts out for this one if you're going in garb. So that'll kick off at 10 a.m. on Saturday, but also on Sunday. It's a good time.
Yep.
So it's a great Ren Fair to support. Also on Saturday night, more live music. Saturday afternoon, JoJo Trevino will be at Turtle Creek Olive and Vines from 3 to 6. And then Sid Grimes on Saturday night will be playing at Trailhead Beer Garden from 6 to 8. Modal Mojo out at Cafe at the Ridge. Caleb Wilborn playing at Tail Chasers on a Saturday night. Corey Weaver will be over at Gravity Check. That's a great show.
Corey Weaver's an entertainer.
Corey Weaver's a fun act to watch. Yeah. And then I think over at Into the Hills, you can catch the Alan Love and Country Pride Band. Sunday, of course, the Ren Fair going on. You can also catch Bob Stewart over at Gravity Check at 1. George Ensel playing at Trailhead Beer Garden from 2 to 4. And Lee Winwright. You've had Lee on the show, I think. He's a very talented individual.
Probably.
He's playing at Turtle Creek Olive and Vines Sunday afternoon. And so there's a ton of great stuff to do the rest of the week and weekend
exciting.
we have.
Yeah. A lot going on.
Yeah. And Lewis Packages is all for you into the newsletter.
That's
so
right.
you should
Every
subscribe.
day.
Thank
Every
you,
day.
Maya.
Maya does a great job with that. Also, I found out this weekend, too, is the robotics tournament.
Yeah.
For
Those
for the,
those kids have been like kicking ass.
Yeah, Hal Peterson Middle School will be doing it someplace. I'm not sure where. I did that. I covered that last year. I don't know if I'm able to get to it this year. So I'm kind of.
Well, I'm sure they'll probably have some more competitions.
I know it's really interesting to go to those competitions and look at them because you feel encouraged.
Yeah.
I feel encouraged. There's two things I feel when I see it. I was like, man, these teachers. How do they put up with these kids for so long? Like, oh my gosh, I would be exhausted.
Tawny says she had a 3-legged Mexican junkyard dog when she was younger.
Really?
She also has qualms with your definition of unprecedented.
Well, hers is what she's saying there is actually factually incorrect. So what she's referencing is a series of fires that have happened that have been catastrophic in the history of Los Angeles.
Right.
Look, I mean, California is a dangerous place to live, especially if you're a conservative. Unless you live, well, remember, California's different parts. You have coastal parts and then you have the inland parts. I grew up inland, right? So, and actually, the reality of it is that every few years there's a big fire in the state that takes houses and things like that. The difference is that it doesn't usually do this in January. It doesn't do this on the scale that we've seen here either. The one he references in 1933 was a weird one because it was the Griffith Park fire that killed like 29 or 30 people. Same year they had the Long Beach earthquake, and there was a lot of legislation that still impacts California to the day out of those two events. They had a bunch of volunteer firefighters, right? Mm-hmm. They got killed. Mm-hmm. It was also the Depression. It was in almost like a homeless encampment in Griffith Park. And so, but if you actually look at the history of it, like, okay, it's not uncommon for places like, there was this one discussion about, the urban wildlife interface. We had that discussion here this week, because Kerrville has a lot of urban wildlife interfaces as well. And so how do you help with this as well? Well, one of the takeaways from this is going to be, that the adult conversation in the room to have is like, well, and I think that, what is the value of a stick-built home anymore? Because it's basically just big kindling, right?
Yeah.
Two, is there going to be a conversation about, do we need to change building materials in that as well?
Right.
And the other part, which we just had this discussion on Tuesday, are tree ordinances.
Right.
You can't plant that here. What do you mean you can't plant that? I don't plant it on my property. Well, listen, you can't plant something that's going to die and explode, right?
Yeah.
And so that's another issue too. Even in Texas, they say, please don't have a lot of plants that are flammable, or take care of them so they're not kindling later on.
Right.
And so these are the uncomfortable conversations that we have to have. Or what is the cost going to be to ensure that we have water in case there is a fire?
Yeah.
And I think when actually people look at the cost of these things, like you look at Winter Storm Uri, right? That's a great one too. The narrative is from the far right is it was the windmills and the solar that did this, Gosh dang it, we don't need that kind of nonsense. But it was really a natural gas failure, right? And they didn't have the stuff winterized because it's expensive. Yeah. And look, we are all cheap, right? Mm-hmm. We're all cheapskates. So you can get it done a certain way, or you can cut corners. And a lot of places cut corners. That's why we have extension cords over intersections half the time. So it's just one of those things where we got to make some hard decisions here. Yeah. If you're going to rebuild in Southern California, are we going to allow it to be built with lumber, or are we going to allow it to be built with concrete or steel? So it doesn't melt and burn up. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is. And that's a hard one. And that's the big conversation that has to happen and this isn't just California. It's obviously Maui, right? Look at all the crap about Maui. Well, how could there was all this conspiracy about Maui? If you look at the video evidence before the fire of power lines going down and how intense those winds were, and this is a Justin Graham piece of this, like the years of abusive sort of land practices in Hawaii, where they were growing sugarcane and it just wiped out the native plants that would hold that moisture in. That's another issue. How do you solve these issues? I saw a video where it was a guy who was like pointing all these he's like, oh well, it's the spotted owl, but every time he had like a conservative talking point, he had a liberal one too. This and 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 this. There's like 700 different reasons until we start actually talking about some of those reasons too. Like how do we harden our landscapes? How do we harden our infrastructure? How do we harden this piece? I don't know. Well, it'll probably take another disaster to actually have the conversation. So we'll see. Anyway, but that's another piece of it altogether. But Leslie, the good news is that TikTok's going to be banned on Sunday.
You know what the funny part of that is watching is TikTok users moving to a Chinese app and learning Mandarin.
A true Chinese app, right?
And then like the whole it's interesting to watch because like this has happened before.
Yeah.
Like social media app like Vine when Vine went down and
that's right. Vine was there.
Yeah, Vine because like a lot of Vine users that did really well on Vine found their way to TikTok and
Didn't Twitter buy Vine and ruin it?
I think so. Yeah. It's watching the big guys basically take the cool stuff and ruin it. That's what we're watching happen.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is watching on TikTok is this mass. They call themselves TikTok refugees. They've moved over to Red Note, and they are. There's now like SpawnCon on TikTok to be like, hey, before this app closes, make sure to get your TikTok shop earbuds that translate. And like people are trying to learn Mandarin and have moved over to Red Note and are abiding. Like they're like, let's not ruin this place. We are guests here, and then interacting with Chinese people and on that site.
Yeah,
it's incredibly interesting to watch all of it as well.
Right.
Because like these people are like. They're like, no, we don't want our government to have. We're just slowly going to give it to the Chinese now, and we're going to learn their language.
Yeah, and we're going to learn their language. We're going to adapt. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's as like on a perspective of watching it all. It's been fun. It's interesting to watch.
I wonder how many people have actually left. Facebook and Instagram since
there's been I don't know, like there are people that are leaving those as well or mitigating how they use them.
Right.
I think this is going to change an internet landscape in a whole new way.
I don't know what to think of that either.
It's going to be interesting to watch because I think that's kind of where that's a whole new the internet is big and vast.
Yeah.
But we're watching all of this whole new kind of like land grab on it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep. It's a big land grab.
Yeah, because like Meta, it's not Facebook, it's Meta now, is what publicly traded.
Yep.
And so you've got a lot of we have a lot of our own United States politicians that have invested in it that are voting no against the TikTok ban. So that's an interesting conversation to watch also.
Yeah. Yeah. The Trump is actually on the fence about it. He's kind of changed his mind a little bit.
Here's the thing, like there's some people there's arguments saying like this is like you're taking away freedom of speech, and there's all these conversations, and at the end of the day, like we've watched this happen with applications before, and whether it's wrong or right, I enjoy the space I've curated on TikTok. I'm going to be sad that it's gone, but I'll be fine. There'll be something else that comes of this.
I think it's the issue to me is the regulatory problem with social media is it's not banning TikTok.
That's not it's the U.S. government wants not the U.S. Well, they're getting it too because they're in cahoots with Zuck. All these guys.
Yeah.
They want your advertising money.
Yeah, I mean the only one that benefits this one is Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He's the one that's going to make. It's just going to. he's going to make more and more money off
because
of this.
they're doing the same.
Yeah, right.
They are doing the same thing.
Facebook just rips off everybody else.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's interesting though to me, and I think TikTok has
Because there's
amplified.
also conversations about how when Zuckerberg bought Instagram, they ruined Instagram.
Right.
And Instagram is not as, for me, I don't enjoy it as much anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the algorithm is not great. Even if like you're an advertiser on it, the algorithm they have currently is very hard. As somebody that works for a marketing, like we obviously utilize that as a social platform. It is hard to. They've changed things all the time, and in ways you're like, what is happening?
Well, I think I told you that when
you throw money at it, like they tell you, and it's still not happening. So they're
somebody was
just
asking
eating
me,
your money.
well, don't you get Facebook money? I'm like, I get like, no, I did at one point. I got I had a 2-year contract with Facebook with Meta.
Yeah.
And I get paid every so often. You know what I get paid? You know what the advertising benefit I get? I just got a statement from the other day.
Yeah.
$3.
Yeah.
I made $3 from
And
Meta.
there's been people that have gone on to TikTok and been able to make a lot of money as content creators.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and now we're watching that happen on Snapchat too. It's a wild world to watch.
I never really got into
I don't have the
Snapchat.
energy to be a content creator.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. So, well, there was a fascinating article in the Wall Street Journal about OnlyFans and how it's actually fundamentally changed that whole the porn industry in some ways.
I think it's given those content creators hands-on in how they make their money and cut out a middleman, which probably made the porn industry really seedy in a whole other way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's changed the way that
they've given them their autonomy back.
And they're like, we don't care about not having an app.
Yeah.
We don't need to have an app. We don't want to have an app store because Apple and Google want to be in the app store, and they don't care because they're what was their market cap? What was their profit? $6 billion. So,
yeah. Tawny said she made $3 on her OnlyFans page last month. I'm sorry.
Did.
We need to subscribe.
I know.
I'll get on that.
Can you imagine? She'd be smoking cigarettes and birthing children.
Could be fun.
Oh my god. Gross.
There's a hole for every peg.
Yeah, there is a hole for every peg. Yeah, and anyway, it would show would not be the same without Tawny.
It's true.
It's true. So it's all good. All right. What else did we learn today, Leslie?
I enjoyed having Clifton and Stu Baby and Tom.
Yeah.
And I'm probably only going to call Stuart Stu Baby now.
That's what everyone calls him.
It suits him.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed letting them tell their story.
Yep.
that was a fun thing to get. I hope we do that more.
Yeah.
That was a great conversation.
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun to talk to them. So I really appreciate having them. It's just nice to have them here on Thursdays. I can just drag them in.
I know.
Here's my theory, by the way.
I always get happy when I see them.
When I put that Dalton will be on the show on the newsletter, he never shows up.
He's doing it on purpose now.
I know. So
he's like, I'll show you.
I know.
You don't put baby in a corner.
Don't put baby in a corner. All right, tomorrow's show, Julie Davis will be here, allegedly. Who else will be here? Katie Capel will be here.
Fun. Yes, she's trying to talk about Bird City.
Andrew Gay will stop by.
Okay.
That's about it. That's all the news we need.
Delightful. What did you learn? Anything good?
I didn't learn anything good. No, I love talking to those guys about the old days.
Yeah. You want to start learning Mandarin?
I do. I do. So.
Okay.
Good job. Thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.